WindyCityUnderground.com, the internet music station for the Illinois Media School campus in Chicago. WindyCityUnderground.com, your music, your station. Check this out.
You're tuned in to Mega Mondays with Alex Devon, getting it done. Your Latino extraordinaire here on WindyCityUnderground.com. Your music, your station. Tune in every Mondays from 4 to 6 p.m. Mega Mondays with Alex Devon. WindyCityUnderground.com. Welcome to Mega Mondays. I am your host, Alex Devon, getting it done. Your Latino extraordinaire. And today is a beautiful day in Chicago. I love it when it's hoodie weather. You know what I'm saying? When it's hoodie weather, I love it. I literally came to the station a little late because I was looking for this sweater. Found it on the floor somewhere. Was digging in my closet for about 30 minutes. No lie. Trying to find this one sweater. But, you know, it's just how much I like it. You know, salute to the Transformers. They got a big movie that's just out. I can't wait to go see it. I'm going to go see it next week with the boys. Definitely looking forward to that. So today on Mega Mondays, we are going to be focusing on two major things, right? Unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple weeks, the big story, the elephant in the room, obviously, is Diddy. That's right. He got arrested, and you know he's looking at some serious time. He's looking at 15 years to life. Wow, that's incredible. It's a lot of different stories. We're gonna go into and get into some of the things artists that have worked with him in the past had to say. We're also gonna be checking out his white parties. I just got the story right now. We're gonna read it live together. The white parties, the infamous white parties they used to throw with different celebrities he's taking photos with. I wonder if some of those freak offs happened there. We're gonna talk about what Cat Williams had to say. You know, Cat Williams earlier this year went on the Shannon Sharp podcast, and he said a lot of things, and a lot of those things were true. So he had some comments, not necessarily facts or nothing, but he had some comments of what he thinks Diddy might do in this situation. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the big game. I don't know if I can say the other word, the super, you know what's, but we're going to call it the big game, just, you know, for legal purposes. And, you know, again, I'm going to dive a little deeper. We did mention that Kendrick Lamar got chosen to perform at the big game. And a lot of people, including myself, were extremely happy about it. Right? Kendrick Lamar, to me, is very talented. I was on the Ownership Club yesterday. Salute to Soul 106.3, the Ownership Club. And I had that conversation with my colleagues out there. And I was surprised because they were like, I can't name one Kendrick Lamar song besides Not Like Us. And I was like, what? You are definitely not like me, because I know a few Kendrick tracks. I was following Kendrick's career from before he got signed to Aftermath, when he was guest appearing on the Games albums and all that stuff. But we're going to get into that story. But more into the story as far as what other people had to say. Some people came to his support. People such as Drake. I meant Snoop Dogg. But Drake is also in the mix somehow, somewhat way, according to Steve Stouts. And we're going to get into that story as well. The first story, if you guys don't know, it's a very long story. So I'm going to kind of briefly touch on it a little bit, and then we're going to get more and more and more. And then, of course, we're going to be playing some music. Today's Mega Mondays I'm normally out from 4 to 6, but today I started at 5. I might go to 7. We're going to go ahead and play it by ear. All right. So let's go ahead and start off the story, and then we'll go ahead and play some music. Of course, if you are a local artist and got the next hot thing, you know, make sure to send it to us directly. You can send it to Windy City Underground IMS at gmail.com, or you can send it to me at alexthe1@gmail.com. So let's go ahead and start with the story. This story, you can read it on CBS News, and it's a little outdated. I meant to read it on Wednesday, but I was at work, so I didn't get a chance to go live. But, you know, some of this information might be a week old, but it's still relevant. All right. So, again, you can find the story on CBS News. And it goes, Sean Diddy Combs arrested, charged with sex trafficking and federal indictment. Whoa. I saw a meme today of Biggie, rest in peace, out in heaven, looking down, reading the indictment with his eyes just kind of like, oh, what's going on here, right? And, yeah, it gets a little weird. All right, so check it out. Sean Diddy Combs has been charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution, according to the indictment unsealed. Those are some serious charges. Diddy, was he a pimp? Okay, all right, let's get more into the story. The charges were relevant after the hip-hop Mongol was taken into custody by federal authorities in New York the night before, multiple law enforcement told CBS News in connection with an ongoing investigation by Homeland Security Investigations. Now, there are videos out there circulating the night before he got arrested. He's in downtown hanging out with fans, just kind of chopping it up. He's listening to people spit bars. There's another video where the feds, they go into the hotel where he's at and they bring him out. They bring him out in handcuffs, right? So yeah, the ish hit the fan real quick for Diddy. If you're Diddy in that moment, it might be possibly coming, so you kind of try to play it cool. But what do you do in that situation? Combs is expected to appear in court, which he already did. The U.S. Attorney Damian Williams of the Southern District of New York said during a news conference that federal prosecutors would be seeking detention for Combs. That's right, 15 years to life. 15 years to life is what he's facing if he's charged guilty. Now, I know his lawyers were trying to work all kinds of magic, saying, look, we'll give this up. You can take the passport. You can take the house. You can do this. You can do this. You can do that. Just let him get out of jail. Let him spend that time waiting for a trial in his home, right? He said he'd be on lockdown. He'd be on house arrest. He wouldn't come out, so on and so forth, right? The judge said, nah, we're not going to let it happen. In the indictment, prosecutors alleged that Combs was part of a criminal organization that engaged in or attempted to engage in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, obstruction of justice, and other offenses. Williams said that there are multiple victims in this case, but he didn't provide a specific number, and he urged others to come forward to authorities. So people, when they first did those big raids, they did one in Miami. They did a couple. I want to say they did one in California as well. People were saying the feds, unless they know they got something concrete on you, the wheels of justice are sometimes slow to turn. And yeah, so when they made those raids, people were always curious as far as what did they find in the house, right? Because they did walk out with some kind of evidence and interesting evidence. We'll get into that momentarily. So the U.S. Sean Diddy Combs arrested, charged with sex trafficking in federal indictment by Elisa Lopez, Nicole Scadana, I'm sorry, I butchered your name, Pat Milton, Andres Treya, and Alex Sunby. So yeah, that's the first part of the story. Sean Diddy Combs has been charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, transportation to engage in prostitution, according to the indictment unsealed on Tuesday. The charges were revealed after the hip-hop mogul was taken into custody by federal authorities in New York the night before. Yeah, so we kind of touched base on that. So Combs is accused of assaulting women on numerous occasions, starting 2009 and continuing for years, according to the indictment. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims into fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. Williams told reporters Tuesday, as alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity. Now, I always said, when you're a man of power, with great power comes great responsibility, right? Spider-Man or whatever. That's not the term I was looking for. Absolute power will corrupt absolutely. Something like that. I forgot the exact quote, but it's something along those lines. When you're P Diddy and you're that powerful, you're a billionaire, you're famous, you're responsible for multiple careers, you're part of the biggest beef in hip-hop ever, that East Coast, West Coast thing. People know who you are. That being said, when you hold that position, people around you, you're surrounded by a lot of yes men. Maybe they know it's wrong in their heart of hearts. You're asking me to do what now? To do what now? But this is Sean Puffy Combs. They're trying to get in his good graces. So they're going to do whatever he says. So is he like the main honcho for this criminal organization, Bad Boy Records, or whatever you want to call it? I don't know if it is, but okay, let's get more into the story. Combs ensured participation from the woman by, among others, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging the financial support, and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation and violence, the indictment said. So, okay, here's a little something, whatever, or maybe something harder. Here you go. Did he use that to control them? It's possible. You can't really force somebody to do something that they don't want to, as far as narcotics or candy. Did they have a gun to their head? I don't think that's the case. I think everybody's partying, everybody's having a good old time. Here, take this, take that. First thing that goes, common sense. Turn into a different person. These things happen. However, I do see him threatening to cut them off. If you don't do this, you can say goodbye to your record deal. You can say goodbye to this endorsement. You can say goodbye to being on the cover of my new this, that, the other, whatever, right? I could definitely see that. Would he scoop to that level? Those are the accusations according to this indictment. So let's go ahead and continue before we play some music. Let's see, where did I leave off? Okay, Williams said in the investigation into Combs was ongoing and the additional charges weren't off the table. He also said others could face charges in the case. So he's got a case, but he said, hey, if you got more, let me know. We'll add it to the list. We'll add it to the list. This is an ongoing investigation. This office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who is engaged in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be, Williams said. I hope they keep that same energy when someone else in the limelight currently right now is known to also be powerful, wealthy, famous, been charged with many, many counts of this, that, and the third. If you guys know who it is, drop it in the comment. I'm not going to say it because I won't get in trouble. So let's read the indictment. The indictment refers to an incident caught on the hotel security cameras in 2016. CNN aired the footage earlier this year, which appears to show Combs attacking a singer, Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, in the Los Angeles hotel hallway. In May, Combs apologized for the incident, saying his behavior is inexcusable and he took full responsibility for his actions. According to the indictment, Combs attempted to bribe the hotel security staff member who intervened. That's right, intervened, and the incident and kept it quiet. So yeah, we all knew there was probably some hush money going on there. Yeah, there's a video on this and this floor of me doing something. Can you hook it up with that video? Here's a little something, some compensation. There you go. Make sure keep it in the wraps. But then later on, this video resurfaces. How did it resurface? Who leaked it out? Who still had? Did the dude have a copy of it? I don't know. Combs allegedly referred to the incidents as freak-offs. According to the indictment, prosecutors said Combs directed these freak-offs, often recorded them, and disrupted controlled substance to the victims, which helped them be obedient and compliant. A freak-off. I've never been to any such thing. Of course, right? Who would want to invite me to these things? But imagine going to these parties and everybody's getting down and dirty and someone's recording it. Do you tell them, hey, bro, stop? On top of that, you're all intoxicated. Or you just go with the flow and just forget it's there. And then later on, that comes back to bite you in the butt, right? Literally, equally. All right, let's go ahead and play some music. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and continue with the story. Let's go ahead and play some Fly Cool Club, Smiles. This is WindyCityUnderground.com.
By the way, this is the Fly Cool Club.
Make a smile, yeah. In a better place now. New stands, close-knit relationships that found loose friends. I got old friends, I got new friends. But in the midst of it all, I got true friends. I'm super fly cool on them, always in your corner. They know I'm the one to bank up. Like food on them, all my chicks be pretty. Y'all know chicks be having food on them. All my chicks be ready. Yo, chicks, man, they did with you, homie. They gon' steal up Jackson. All your dreams will see no action. You try to look firm in your grip, isn't firm enough. Too much form like it's two of me. Kinda broke. Gotta wrap it up again like two mummies. Known to turn that trap rabbit to a do bunny. Kill that missus while she riding. Doom buggy. A lot of people misunderstand my stilo. Forever in my deck, you'll all soon hug me. Now just close your eyes and think of a way. Just smile, just a little bit. Don't let a goofy throw you off. You a bad boo. If that mean happiness underrated. These ain't pure, they concentrated. But some lost in the soul zone, man. Mr. Fly Cool, this is all swag. I need wealth for the fame so we get the bag. And when we take them losses, we don't get mad. We get even. This shit's even. That mother's grieving. Yes, it's even. Please believe it. Young, hungry. No macaroni, they want that cheese. Fly Cool, you should be a part of this breed. Making new money from the tricks up my sleeve. So I want you peasants to bow to a king. One thing that don't die is my dreams. Close your eyes and think of a way. Close your eyes.
WindyCityUnderground.com. Your music, your station.
This is Toyana, aka Sky Town, and I am in the building. Make sure you tune into Mega Mondays with Alex the One every Monday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WindyCityUnderground.com. Your music, your station. You don't want to miss the Latino extraordinaire. He is everywhere, but he's in the building.
WindyCityUnderground.com, your music, your station. I am your host, Alex the One, getting it done, your Latino extraordinaire. You just heard the Fly Cool Club. Very, very cool individuals. I really do enjoy their music. They're pretty nice. They're pretty nice. And then you just heard Toyana. Make sure to catch her on WindyCityUnderground.com on Wednesdays. Scott Town, Shollywood. She's very, very dope. So thank you for tuning back in. We were talking about Diddy, Sean Combs, and a whole heap of trouble. That's right. Lots and lots of trouble. I did read his indictment includes charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Some serious charges right there, man. Some serious, serious charges. Salute to Toyota. What's up? So let's go ahead and continue to the story. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims, and the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even dictating the physical appearance. Oh, wow, that's what Williams said. Some serious charges. Serious charges. Hey, if you don't do what I say and participate in the freak off, no more house for you, no more finances for you. What do you do in those situations? Right? Do you bite the hand that feeds you? Okay, let me go ahead and continue with the story. The victims didn't believe that they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse, Williams said. Prosecutors also accused Combs of carrying or brandishing guns to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Williams said Homeland Security investigations agents who raided Combs' home in Los Angeles and Miami in March found firearms, ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. Homeland Security investigations declined to comment. On top of that, it's not included in the story, and it's not illegal to have, but he had not one, not two, but many, I want to say hundreds, maybe even thousands, baby oil and lubricants in his home. Take a second to really get that in your mind. 100-something bottles, maybe 1,000 bottles of lubricants and baby oil. What norm? I'm sure you guys are thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, right? I can get one. I can get maybe even two. But hundreds? These freak-offs were, yeah. So Yana says thousands of cases. I did a joke the other day. My guy Antonio over there at WCPT, I was like, okay, they found that amount. Is that amount been sitting there for a while? Has it been collecting dust? Or is this like a resupply of necessities in the Combs household? I need a stash of this amount every week, every month, every year. It's a great question, man. That's a lot of lube, a lot of baby oil. I did read somewhere else. This is not included in the story, but there was a brothel out in Las Vegas, and he said, please do not use baby oil when conducting certain acts. Use your imagination, what they may be used. Okay, the brothel got to know, right? They're in that business. So anyways, we are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Mark, and I apologize for butchering your name, Angifilo. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, all right? The attorney for Combs said in the statement. He describes Combs as a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving man, he said, and this is what he says. He says, he is an imperfect person, but he's not a criminal. He is a imperfect person, but he's not a criminal. So Yana said 1,000. Oh yeah, 1,000 Trojans, perhaps. I hope so. Hope so. So, anyways, Combs' lawyer said has been nothing but cooperative. That's what he said. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with the investigation and voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. The unsealed indictments listed the case as the United States versus Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. PD, a.k.a. Love, defendant. Combs has faced a number of lawsuits in the recent months involving allegations of sexual misconduct, abuse, and violence. Combs and his representative had denied all the accusations. In November 2023, Ventura filed a lawsuit accusing Combs of rape and abuse during their relationship. He denied the accusations. They reached a settlement in the following. So, very interesting, right? Now, he did sell off a lot of property, a lot of businesses. He was making some transactions. He was selling some things. Did he know that this day was coming? Possibly. When you have that much money, that much power, that much influence, yeah, you're going to know some people in some high places. And they are going to tell you, hey, I think they're going to come for you this week, or they're in the process. They're getting to you. Now, if you would have disappeared, there are some people out there. For example, Russell Simmons was accused of some serious accusations. What did he do? He left. He said, forget this. He went out somewhere in Asia, and he's staying out there. I'm not saying he did anything or nothing, but he's just like, I don't even want to deal with this nonsense. He left. If Combs would have done the same thing, would people have said, see, that's proof. That's proof. That's why he left. He's guilty. He knows. His days are numbered. Or did he say, look, man, I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm going over there. Do what you got to do. Poke around what you got to poke around. He got the best legal defense. And again, I did mention there are people in these videos at these freak-offs under the influence. Who could some of those people be? Could they just be friends and colleagues? Possible. Could they have been celebrities? Most likely. Could they have been politicians? Politicians, possibly. There was a reverend out there that was known to go to his parties as well. Man of God. Man of God. So we're going to get into, we're going to play some more music. But when we come back, if you go on the internet right now, you can find all kinds of stuff. For example, there is white parties that Diddy was known to host. And in these white parties, there's many celebrities. I'll read off of just a couple before we play some music. I'm looking at this picture right now with Leonardo DiCaprio. And he's surrounded by a bunch of guys, and there's champagne bottles everywhere. Dom Perignon, to be exact. Pictures of Combs, no T-shirt. Pictures of women, no tops on, hanging out by the pool. Yes, Chubby. Is that Chubby Chase? Yeah. Is that Chubby Chase? Chubby Chase. Okay. Yeah, from the Three Amigos. He's in there in one of the pictures. Is that Q-Tip? Yeah, Q-Tip is in there, also hanging out with Leonardo DiCaprio at these white parties, champagne all around. Oh my God, Kathleen Regis. They used to do the morning show or something. Yeah, they're in there. Okay, didn't expect that one. Okay, some other guys, I don't know who they are. Bunch of young guys, bunch of young girls. White party. And that's all the pictures that are being shown here, right? But I'm sure there's more. All right. So those are just some of the pictures. We're going to go ahead and play some music. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and read that story. We're going to read it live together, right? I just saw it right now. I had to pull it up so we can go ahead and read this story. So stick around, y'all. This is
When it's time to get goofy, baby, I'm rocking my tools.
Hope you had 1,000 condoms.
Like a mulatto, they think I hit the lotto. I want people in bricks, clean like a tick. When I put on it, she gon' shoot like a dick.
I hope so too.
You ain't first and you're last. Like my first name is Rick. My rap solo though, cause they be too fake. And my words legit. Movie, fraudulent, say what they don't mean. Like, oh no, I skip, pull up that ace, and then take me a sip. I done been through some shit, but past. Gotta live for the now, but I never forget, never complain. Used to trap in the rain, I didn't do it for fame. I used to bang, so I came out that mud with no dirt on my name, repeating the same and want different results. That's insane. I switched the terrain and I hop on a plane. Now my view didn't change. I be on go, so how did they reach somewhere on the globe? If I drop a low, you can't pull up on me. Need a fight or a boat, they take you for granted till you disappear. Now they placing the ghost. I get that bread, then I get that butter. Now it's time for a toast. Time to DJ bring it back again. Make sure your plug throw them extras in. Now tell a girl grab another friend. We gon' have fun, but we play to win. Now tell a DJ bring it back again. Make sure your plug throw them extras in. Now tell a girl grab another friend. We gon' have fun, but we play to win. Now it's my time for real. I be thumbing through blues. They think I sounded ill. It came out that pot like I cooked up a meal. Had the bag in the seals, taking them trips, loading up on the peas. Got the village for real. If I get a meal, I'ma free all my dogs. Yeah, we
Thank you, Toriana. Hope you're having an awesome day as well.
And it feel like some cleats I don't bark, I just bite. You a dog, I'm a wolf. When it's in your teeth, look like cloud. I be moving discreet. I'ma leave it like chief. Now I have to find. If you're looking for me, drop a pin, we can meet. Hope you can swim. We be flooding them blocks. This could get deep. They gon' switch up. Trying to jump ship. Knowing it's about to sink. Stay over there. If it's wild, declare. Light it up like a flare. Yeah, I be lit. They gon' stop and stare. See them keys over there. When you look around, you see that 360. I don't do no squares. Light up that dope. Kick your out the car. If you like it with squares, still 10 toes. They gon' fall like a crease. Boy, how you a chef? How the wind shot going dumb. DJ bring it back again. Make sure your plug throw them extras in. Now tell a girl grab another friend. We gon' have fun, but we play to win. Now tell a DJ bring it back again. Make sure your plug throw them extras in. Now tell a girl grab another friend. We gon' have fun, but we play to win.
WindyCityUnderground.com. Your music, your station.
It's your girl, CEO Lexi Couture of Couture Music, and you're tuned into Mega Mondays with Alex the One, the Latino extraordinaire on WindyCityUnderground.com.
WindyCityUnderground.com, your music, your station. I am Alex the One, getting it done, your Latino extraordinaire. Thank you for tuning in to Mega Mondays. Today we are focusing primarily, if I have enough time, maybe get to the other subject, but definitely we're talking about P Diddy and everything that's going on. We just read how he got arrested, the charges he was facing, doing some serious time. Yes. And they were saying he was giving people drugs and telling people, if you don't do what I want, I will be taking away your housing. I will be cutting you off financially. I will be doing this, that, and the third. I will expose you. I have you on tape. So some people were curious to see, okay, who is involved or who was part of these parties that possibly he got dirt on. Now, we did say Kevin Lyles stepped down from the Warner Group. Why did Kevin Lyles step away right as soon as he got arrested? Was he involved in that whole scenario? We don't know. Maybe it was just that time. He's like, this hip-hop music is too crazy. I need a break, right? Anyways, I just pulled up this story on TMZ.com. I'm going to read it live with you, so my apologies. I'm sure I'm going to butcher it. But it shows some of the pictures. A look back at white parties, nudity, and champagne. I did mention a few of the celebrities on there. P Diddy is seen many times without a shirt. There's a lot of women also, no shirts. Lots of champagne, lots of smiling faces, a lot of happy people. Was this one of the freak-offs? I don't know. So let's get into this story. And it goes, Diddy's arrest and subsequent indictment are bringing a renewed look at some of his famous white parties from back in the day in the Hamptons, where the champagne flowed and the women lost their tops. Check out these images. You can find them on TMZ.com from Diddy's white parties in 1998 and 1999, which he hosted over the Labor Day weekend in the Hamptons. So these are pretty old pictures. All right. Maybe this is pre-freak-off. Maybe this is the beginning of the freak-off. Interesting. Diddy lording over the event from above in a striking image as he's spraying champagne on a couple of topless women in another shot. So yeah, he's doing some of those things. Leonardo DiCaprio is smoking and sipping bubbly with Diddy in a couple of images, and other famous guests they took the pictures included David Blaine, Chevy Chase, Regis, that's right, from Kathleen Regis, and Vera Wang. through. There's nothing suggesting that they were involved in anything crazy. Of course not. They were just taking pictures. Okay. There's also photos of a couple topless ladies pouring champagne in a man's mouth as they straddled him in the pool, smack him in the middle of the festivities. Okay, now these are some wild parties. Now, is this the first of these wild parties? No, of course not. I'm sure if you are a man of status, if you have lots of money, parties like that are being held. Absolutely, I can. You guys remember the movie NWA? Man, those guys are partying like that all the time. I heard stories from when they interview like people that were affiliated with Death Row Records and all that. Oh, a Death Row party was awesome, right? These parties, I'm sure, are lucrative, lavish. You definitely want to be invited to these parties. I'm sure Diddy's was no different. So Diddy even dressed up some female bartenders in an angel outfit and served champagne at one of the places, okay, and had men in white tuxedos passing out bubbly and no, that's okay. That's normal. Okay, you got a bartender dressed as an angel. I see that all the time. If you go to a bar or a club, they're dressed up. Guys in tuxedos passing out drinks. Nothing crazy about that. There is a renewed interest in all things Diddy, now that he's been indicted for sex trafficking, kidnapping, and racketeering charges. His alleged freak-off parties got a lot of play in the indictment, and his white parties are interesting to look back onto. Okay, so that's really it. I thought that was going to be more to the story, but it's pretty innocent. Yeah, they're just saying it is what it is. But now, let me get into this story. I did read it yesterday on the Ownership Club on Soul 106.3 FM. Make sure to catch me from 9 to 11 to check out my What's Happening segments. And this was part of it yesterday. I'll go ahead and get more specific in details. And it's talked about Cat Williams, and he believes Diddy will snitch on everybody. Does he have a point? Cat Williams said some things about lots of people earlier within the year, and a lot of it turned out to be factual or kind of factual, or there was some kind of proof that shows he just wasn't talking smack. So let's get into the story. Cat Williams believes Diddy will snitch on everybody. Do you agree with Cat here? The Diddy scandal continued to captivate much of pop culture for harrowing and disturbing reasons. Although a lot of folks are making light of the whole alleged matter, one of these is Cat Williams, who fans called a prophet earlier this year when his remarks on the bad boy mogul, various accusations seemed to manifest every week through new allegations. Now Cat's back to his bold claims. Diddy about to snitch on everybody. He captioned a recent Instagram story post. It included a clip from New Jack City in which Nino Brown accuses Kareem Akbar of ringleading his crimes. But it's Diddy and Jay-Z's face imposed onto the actors. Diddy and, okay, we get Diddy, but now we're hearing a lot of Jay-Z's name. There's a lot of Jay-Z. People are trying to involve Jay-Z. They're saying that Jay-Z also was a part of these things. Is it true? I never really thought of Jay-Z. I never saw him in that light. I wouldn't put it past anybody. Or maybe that's just him, whatever. It is what it is. Diddy had everyone at his parties. What's up, bro and sis? What up, bro? DJ Bland. Salute to you, IMS's very own. So check this out. Many other reactions to Diddy's federal arrest and indictments made similar claims and theories. But at the end of the day, we won't know until we see the trial. This is true. I'm talking a lot of smack right now. I'm saying a lot of this, that, and the third. But honestly, we don't know until the trial is laid out. Do they have proof? Do they have a counter argument? We don't know. All right, let that be settled in a court of law. This is true. On that note, this might take a while considering his many other legal issues as of late, much of which he's trying to sweep under the rug while focusing on this larger case. For example, Sean Combs recently filed a motion to dismiss one of his various sexual assault lawsuits against him due to its expired statute of limitations. I did mention this yesterday. Statute of limitations. If you stole something X amount of years ago and it passed a certain amount of time, they can't use that against you in the court of law. It's kind of something like that. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all the details, all the specifics. But for kidnapping, sex trafficking, intimidate, all this kind of stuff, is that a statute of limitations? If I did that back in 98, 97, does it still count? I think a crime's a crime, bro. But hey, I'm not a lawyer. So meanwhile, other celebrities like LL Cool J, respect to LL Cool J, and Flavor Flav are still reacting to the Diddy case. I feel for his children. The rest I can't speak on. That's why we've got a court system for it. But I feel for his kids. LL expressed at the Black Music Action Coalition Gala. You know what? I'm gonna tell you. When anybody asks me my opinion on Diddy, you know what my opinion is? Question mark. I have none. I got no answers for Diddy's questions. None. Flav added. As for Cat Williams' previous comments about Diddy on the Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay's podcast, he made it clear that he always kept his distance and rejected his offers to party. Of course, it's important to note that the difference between a regular gathering and a freak-off is very distinct. Nevertheless, all these reactions and snitching claims probably won't amount to much until we have a verdict. Do you think if the pressure gets put on and his back's up against the wall and he's facing 15 years to life, Diddy's got to be what? Mid-50s, maybe? Early 60s, maybe? I don't know, maybe. Something like that. He's up there. Add 15 years to life. He's not leaving that place. And is he going to a country club? I don't think so. I think he's going to go to the same place such as R. Kelly went. There's even jokes out there. He'll be cellmates with Suge Knight. I don't think that's going to happen. But do you think if the pressure is on, Diddy comes from, he's 54, Toyana said, thank you very much. Do you think he's a billionaire? He's used to a certain lifestyle, right? Wakes up every morning, probably has the best breakfast, lunch, and dinner, surrounded by beautiful people, sipping champagne, probably doing a few drugs or whatever. He is doing what he's doing. Now you're in a cell, surrounded by killers and rapists, and criminals, real criminals. And yeah, they either looking at you for a payday. I'm gonna extort this dude. He's gonna be putting money on my books every month. Yep, I know he got money. Or we're gonna beat you up. We're gonna do this to you. We're gonna do that to you. Or do people in that jail system protect him because he knows he's got power and influence on the outside still, even though he'll be behind bars. You know what? I'll keep you safe, but make sure when I come out or somebody on the outside gets a deal or gets put on or whatever. Maybe. Or do you think that just those four walls, if you guys ever been in a jail cell, I've been in one many times. Not proud of it. Your mind will go crazy right away. Right away. Being there for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, the day. Yeah. And then surrounded by other crazy people who can't take it. Yeah. It gets to you. It's not fun. Eating their food. They tell you when to go out. You don't know what's popping. At any time, something bad can happen to you. People are constantly testing you, wanting to fight you. It's not for everybody. So all that being said, I'm doing a lot of ranting. All that being said, if his lawyer says, you know what, it's not looking good, there's nothing we can really do, you're going to serve some major time unless you give us some juicy gossip or some juicy details, some juicy information about this person or that person or this person that we saw in these videos. We need more details. What is he doing besides this, besides that? Whatever, right? I'm just throwing shit out. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Oops, bleep, but bleep, bleep, bleep. I'm just throwing stuff out there. It's possible. It's very possible. Or do you think his legal team is that G? Is that good? That he's not sweating it. It's no problem. It's no problem. Let's go ahead and play some commercials. When we come back, we're going to get into Usher, right? Usher. No, you know what? Not even Usher. I want to get into a different one. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. I completely forgot I had this one. Where is it? Shine. You guys remember Shine? I remember Shine. Let me see if I can pull up the story because I had difficulties pulling it up. Oops, Toyota. she saw me. Oops. Delete. I'm gonna delete that. Delete. That was my bad. Oops. We need a bleep button. I said 3 letters of the 4, so I don't know if that counts. So I can't pull this story up, but it was about Shine. And Shine was saying how Diddy destroyed his life. If you guys remember, he was a part of a shooting back in the day at a nightclub with J-Lo. And the blame got put on him. And he did some jail time. He came out of jail, got deported. And he's saying how Diddy destroyed his life. He had a different legal team than him, right? He was the fall guy, maybe? Unfortunately, I could not pull up the story. I did find it on the source, but it's not loading. Yeah, so anyways. So I think, let me try one more time. Let me try while we're playing some commercials. Stick around, y'all. This is WindyCityUnderground.com. Ever wanted to pursue your passion for radio and TV broadcasting? How about film or video production? Beyond Air network of media schools is where media and entertainment careers begin. The media schools offer a wide variety of programs specializing in specific elements of media. Programs designed to provide hands-on experience tied to your future career of choice. Visit BeyondAir.com or call 331-215-4762. 331-215-4762. It's lunchtime and my stomach is growling. I'm looking for a place with tradition and passion. An eatery that offers Mexican gourmet street food with an updated flair. A modern twist to family recipes. Estrella Negra. Pista en empanadas, tacos, tamales, enchiladas, and more. 2346 West Fullerton Avenue in Chicago's Bucktown, Logan Square. What up, B? How you doing, Larry?
West
Thanks
of
for
the
tuning in, bro.
Expressway. Estrella Negra. Buen provecho. Are you a homeowner or commercial business and are looking for a team of experts to install quality flooring? Have you been thinking about building your dream kitchen or bathroom but don't know where to start? Well, you're in luck. I found the best company in the Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana area with the most popular arrangements and modern designs. Absolute Flooring of Innovation. That name again is Absolute Flooring of Innovation. They pride themselves on professional service and competitive pricing. Their goal is to give the best customer service while providing the highest quality work since 2008. Call today for your free quote. 773-370-7608. That's 773-370-7608. Absolute Flooring of Innovation. Are you a tax preparer? If you have at least 2 years experience and 5 or more tax clients, they would love to partner with you. Commissions and packages start at 50 to 90% with no upfront cost to you. For more information, call 336-516-9026. That's 336-516-9026. Or visit them at www.americandreamtaxoffice.net. American Dream Tax.
WindyCityUnderground.com. Your music, your station.
WindyCityUnderground.com, your music, your station. You are tuned in to Mega Mondays. I am Alex the One, getting it done, your Latino extraordinaire. And today on Mega Mondays, we're really diving deep into Diddy. As you guys know, he got arrested. Some people said this day would never come. He got away with a lot of craziness in the past. Could have been in trouble, should have been in jail many, many, many times. However, he had a good legal team. He did this, that, the third. And a lot of times he got away with it. A lot of times he got away with it. Some people have accused him for the deaths of such greats, such as the notorious B.I.G., saying that he put him in those predicaments. He shouldn't have been in L.A. the time he was there. He should have had more. Everybody says this, right? But some people blame him for his death. Am I one of those people? Not really. Things happen sometimes that are out of your control. There's nothing you can do. Some people blame him for Shine. He took the fall for Shine. Shine got deported. Shine went to jail. Shine lost his career. And even when he came back out, it was supposed to be the next Tupac story where he comes out of jail. He's going to come up with this great music. He's going to be the next best thing. Nah, that didn't happen. Then we saw such greats as Black Rob die. And people were saying, hey, what's up, Diddy? You're a billionaire. Help him with his funeral. Why weren't you there for him? Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear, also died. These are artists that really helped you establish Bad Boy Records, help you launch your career. Could you have done a little bit more? I get it, right? You messed with them back in the day, and you guys haven't messed with each other ever since. But if you're in a place to help, especially when you're a billionaire, yeah, you could contribute a little something. You could, right? You got money for all this champagne at your white parties in the Hamptons. One of those parties probably is not even 10% of what something could help change someone's life around. Anyways, I'm ranting, right? I'm not anti-Diddy. I'm just saying what's in front of me now. Diddy, has he done good for the community? I guess maybe somehow, somewhat way. Gave people opportunities. Sure, why not, right? I'm just saying. So there's this individual, Usher. If you guys know, Usher was also very close to Diddy. They lived together for a small, short amount of time. He said, money for oil. Okay. Maybe oil. Okay. Usher did live with Diddy for a long time. I'm sure he had something to do with his rise to stardom. And the other day, Usher's Twitter account supposedly got hacked and all his tweets were deleted. Now, people are saying, was this in relationship to Diddy's after what happened to Diddy, all of a sudden all these tweets are deleted. You can read this story on hotnewhiphop.com. I'm reading it live with you. Again, I didn't get a chance to print this out and review it. So let's go ahead and read together. In the story, did this actually have something to do with Diddy's scandal, or are Forks just quick to jump down Usher's throat? Usher has fallen under a lot of social media scrutiny over the past few months due to his connection to Diddy, as they had a collaboration relationship from a very early in his former career. Given the bad boy Mongo's current incarceration and the federal indictment against him, many raised their eyebrows at the recent social media development. Moreover, the R&B star or someone from his team seemingly wiped all of the Twitter posts from his page, leading to many theories that this has something to do with the Sean Combs scandal. However, there is nothing explicit hinting at the suggestion, or either in the legal space or online. So we'll have to see if he elaborates on the social media page. I did see him post later on. You guys are quick to believe anything. I got hacked or something like that. You think I did that because of him? I mean, if that's the case, what do you say? What do you say? Yeah, I did it because of him. And did he have some crazy tweets? I don't think so. Shouts out to Melly P yesterday at the Ownership Club. She said, he would post dumb stuff like, brush my teeth today. Just like insignificant tweets. Let's see. Willow says it's all going to come out in the light, laughing out loud. Let me say that they're all going to come out forward to the lights. That's right. Come to the lights. Some people say stay away from the lights. Some people say go towards the lights. When it comes to lights, do you think that Diddy has that much over some people? Some people with reputations, right? They're probably good, upstanding citizens. They don't want people to think, oh, this guy has a nasty foot fetish or something, right? And he likes baby oil in places baby oil is not supposed to go. Possibly. Or do you think, Diddy's correct? He's a good guy. Misunderstood. People are trying to get him in trouble. People are trying to reach in his pockets. And, his lawyer's going to clean that up, and it's going to be another day. Let's move forward. We don't know. We have to wait for the trial to happen. We have to wait for his legal team to do things and present evidence and witnesses, and it's a whole thing. So very interesting. So let's get back to this Usher story. Still, some highlighted posts remain at the press time, including tour announcements, ticket sales, and NFT stuff apparently. And the Twitter Spaces post from earlier this month. On the other hand, Usher's Twitter account says that it still has 7,112 posts as of writing this article. That's still a lot of tweets, but none of them are visible. This is very odd and unexplainable. So hopefully someone sheds more light on the situation, whether it be at the big game performer himself or his team. So let's go ahead and get into a quick commercial break. If you guys hear that noise in the background, that means I got to pay my meter. So let me go ahead and play some music. And when I come back, we'll get into that whole story right here. So let's go ahead and play some Zaya Janae, Ride With You. This is WindyCityUnderground.com.
With your brown eyes, just make me back up from my city. You say you're ready to go, no, I'm ready. I hope I'm not for my love. Fight for my love, die for my love. Cause you give me love. I'm proud with you, oh. I'm proud with you, oh. It's not with you, oh. I'm with you, oh. I'm proud with you, oh. I'm proud with you. Oh, it's not with you, oh, with you. Shoot a guy, shoot a guy, with your brown eye, with your brown eye, so alive, so alive. Shoot a guy, shoot a guy. I'ma ride with you till the wheels fall. Ride with you till I can't more. Ride with you till the wheels fall. Oh, baby. Oh, will you ride with me till the wheels fall? Ride with me till we can't no more. Ride.
You're listening to WindyCityUnderground.com, the internet music station for the Illinois Media School campus in Chicago.
WindyCityUnderground.com. Your music, your station.
Check this out.
You're tuned in to Mega Mondays with Alex the Blonde, getting it done. Your Latino extraordinaire here on WindyCityUnderground.com. Your music, your station. Tune in every Mondays from 4 to 6 p.m. Mega Mondays with Alex the One. WindyCityUnderground.com. Welcome back to Mega Mondays. I am your host, Alex the One, getting it done. Your Latino extraordinaire. My apologies, I had to cut that story a little short, but I had to pay the meter. Yeah, this new location, I got to take public transportation sometimes, so I got to leave the car somewhere parked. Yeah, it's TMI, right? Too much information. Make a long story short, I got an alarm, it goes off, and I got to pay the meter. Right. Anyways, so now back to Mega Mondays. We've been talking everything Sean Diddy Combs. Sean Diddy Combs has been in the limelight. He's currently incarcerated. Him and his legal team had tried to get him to come home at least on, until the trial really kicks off. Offering such things as his passport, properties, money's involved, promising he won't leave the house, he won't be in contact with anybody else. He promises to be a good boy. But now he's a bad boy, right? He's bad boy records, right? No pun intended. But the judge said, nah, bruh. If we let you go, you still have a lot of power, you still have a lot of control. You can still intimidate some of these witnesses. So they're like, no, you got to stay in jail. Now, if you're Diddy, that sucks, especially if you're coming from that lifestyle and you're incarcerated. I believe the jail he's in is called the Tombs or something like that out in New York. It's not a very friendly place. It's not a good place to be, but that's where he is. And we've been talking about what certain people had to say, such as Cat Williams said he's going to snitch on everybody. He's going to snitch on everybody. You think it could be true? I don't know. It could be. We talked a little bit about some of his white parties that he did in the Hamptons. This was earlier in the 90s. Late 90s or earlier in his career, where he's having extravagant parties with certain celebrities and everybody's having a good old time, champagne all around, topless women. That sounds like an awesome party, right? Now, were the freak-offs happening during that time? Nobody knows, right? But they did show some of the celebrities he had, some of the people that were involved. It looks like a good old time until the lights come off. And then, yeah, that's a whole nother story. Usher is another guy, right? Usher, recently, Twitter account got deleted. Not his account, but his tweets got deleted. And people were saying, why did you delete it? Or what's going on with that? Usher said, hey, man, it got hacked. You guys are crazy for believing all kinds of stuff. But let's dive deeper a little bit about Usher and P Diddy and their relationship and how those two come together. And why would people think that in the first place? So, for those unaware, Usher's name is rumored to have been redacted in one of the first lawsuits against Diddy. And this caused the entire relationship to fall further into question. I got a chance to see some things. I went there to see the lifestyle, and I saw it. He said back in 2016, about living with Bad Boy Mongo when he was just 13. That in itself is wild to me. I have sons. My oldest is not 13 yet, but if he was 13, I don't care if it's Bill Gates that says, hey, have him come live with me so he can see how to become a multi-billionaire genius. Like, nothing. Heck no. Mm-mm. Nope, not me. But in this case, he was living with a grown man, a stranger, at the age of 13, so he could check out the lifestyle, supposedly. And he goes, it was pretty wild. It was crazy. They called me Baby Boo. Ooh. He wasn't disciplinary. He was letting me be a young man. He was always a family member from afar. So I never felt a disconnection. I will always look up to him as a brother. The singer also stated that he would be in no way allowed his children to go through the same experience. Yeah, same thing I said. There's no way I would let my kids. Don't. No. Okay. Meanwhile, Cat Williams, again, we had said this already. Cat Williams is the latest celebrity to react to Diddy's arrest. He believes that the executive will end up snitching on everybody. A lot of people are very curious about the possibility, as part of what makes this scandal so horrifying is just how large the scope of celebrity influence is and how many people the situation seemingly affected and continues to affect. As such, whenever someone like Usher does anything mysterious, folks can't help but tie it back into the controversy. Right. So there you go. Right. I think I've had my fill for Puffy. Yeah. No more stories about him. Let's switch lanes real quick. I'm not gonna be here for the full hour, but I definitely want to touch base on some stories. And this is regarding the Super Bowl. Oops, I can't say the Super Bowl. Or can I say the Super Bowl? We are an internet radio station. I know the big station, we can't say that word. It's a no. We got to use words such as the big game. So the big game, if you guys don't know, the big game has recently said, you know what? It's going to be Kendrick Lamar performing in New Orleans. Now, mind you, Kendrick Lamar did perform at the big game a couple years back with Dr. Dre, Snoop, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, and 50 Cent. So he's already performed at a big game before. But they gave him this opportunity to do it solo. What do you do in that position? You take it. Some people do, some people don't. But Kendrick, in this situation, took it. And I'm going to pull up a story real quick. Yep. And there was a person that said, Steve Stout. If you guys don't know who Steve Stout is. Steve Stout, let me pull up his Wikipedia because I don't want to butcher his story. He was a part at one point of Interscope Records, Griffin AM Records. Stout served as the president of Urban Music. Also, Stout was the president of Urban Music for Sony Music Entertainment, where he played a role in launching music careers such as of Will Smith, and the former manager of Nas, Traxmasters, Mary J. Blige. In April of 1999, rapper Sean Combs assaulted Stout, his office, with a champagne bottle over Combs demanded. Anyways, it's a long story. But he has something to do with Bad Boy as well. And, of course, with Nas. I remember the Traxmasters and all that. Very influential. Really, just to pivot on a different side subject right now. If you guys remember Nas's Ether song against Jay-Z, Nas was going to release a whole other version of it. And Steve Stout and him, at the time, they weren't on great speaking terms. But Steve went to his house right before and he said, boy, you better change that right now. If not, your career is over. And he did. And we got the Ether that we all know today. So does he have influence? Yeah, of course. So anyways, he talked about somebody who turned it down. Not once, but twice. It could have been someone else other than Kendrick. Let's get into the story. Steve Stout has joined a list of people in the aftermath of the controversy around the choice of Kendrick Lamar to perform at the halftime at the big game, has said that Drake has turned down the opportunity to perform during the big game more than once. In an appearance on the Pivot podcast went live on Friday, September 20th, Stout took some time to defend his longtime friend and relative, Jay-Z, who, as the man behind the halftime show, has taken some hits following the Kendrick announcement from people who felt like Lil Wayne would have been the better choice, given that the game is in Weezy's hometown of New Orleans. Stout defended Hove's recent halftime show choices, and he goes, quote unquote, as far as I'm concerned, these artists are getting their flowers and are getting their chance to perform on the stage. these black artists, hip hop and R&B artists, if it wasn't for Jay-Z, this wouldn't be happening. Stop began. So how could you come down and criticize this man like that? Question mark. Does got a point. Does got a point. If it wasn't for people like Jay-Z, with these hip hop, R&B, I'm saying that specifically, right? Because we have had all kinds of different acts in the past. We've had Prince on there. I want to say Janet, yeah, of course, Janet Jackson was on there. Michael Jackson, I think, was on there. So many great people performed on there, but not hip hop, really hip hop artists performed until recently. And Jay-Z is a big part of that movement. Stout pivoted from another attack that if Drake had taken one of the Super Bowl slots he was offered, he could have been the one to bring Wayne onto the stage. That's right. He was part of Young Money, if you guys forget. Right now, he's OVO. Drake has his own thing. But when he first got his start and really made it big, because he did get his start back with Texas, I believe, and then he went over with Lil Wayne and was part of the Young Money. So he definitely, I think, would have brought him out. And he goes, I will confirm, Drake was offered the big game. The big game twice. He continued, Drake did turn down the big game twice, and I'm sure Drake would have said yes. He would have brought Lil Wayne on some point. He probably would have brought Nicki Minaj, which is probably why she's upset with Jay-Z, because she's not on stage. He turned it down twice, which is fine. He didn't want to do it, but nobody is going to say, damn, why'd you turn it down, question mark? You could have got Lil Wayne on. Nobody's going to connect that dot. So, yeah. So you can watch the whole video. I found this story on hiphopdx.com. And in the video, if you want to scroll to the 9-minute mark, Stout stated that Drizzy's turning down the big game matches reported. Elliot Wilson, that's just some legal mumbo jumbo. He goes, I have the authority. Multiple sources have told me that Drake has indeed turned down the big game. He actually turned it down the first two since Jay-Z's NFL partnership. The one in Miami and the weekend one. Okay, so in the past one, he had turned it down, which is odd. Why would you turn down a chance for the Super Bowl? I keep saying it. The chance for the big game. Now, I did hear they didn't get paid for that. And if you want to do something extravagant, they got to come out of your pocket, which is bananas to me. The big game, that NFL, you got some money to pay for that. But he added, the guys are rivals with each other. They've had their good times and bad times with each other, but business-wise, Jay-Z wanted Drake on the big game stage, and he turned it down twice. So if it was Drake, if he did say yeah, he definitely would have brought Wayne out. Now, why did he not bring Wayne out? Hey, that's why Jay-Z's a billionaire, and I'm not. He makes these decisions. Kendrick is hot right now. Hot. And I enjoy his music. I was surprised yesterday. Some of my colleagues at the Ownership Club, they didn't really know a lot of his music. And I was like, what? You got this song, you got that song. So let me get into one last story, and I'll go ahead and wrap things up. And this is brought to you by allhiphop.com. Snoop Dogg weighs in on Kendrick Lamar and Lil Wayne, the big game controversy. Of course, Snoop is very respected in the hip-hop game. He's one of those household names. A lot of people know who Snoop is, not only in music and films and just all kinds of other endeavors. Snoop Dogg discusses Lil Wayne's exclusion from the upcoming Big Game halftime show, emphasizes hip-hop progress and his neutral stance. Snoop Dogg recently appeared on the controversy surrounding Lil Wayne's exclusion from the upcoming Big Game halftime show diplomatically. The NFL announced earlier this month that Kendrick Lamar would perform in the February event in the New Orleans, sparking outcry from the Wayne's fans and some celebrities who felt New Orleans native Lil Wayne should have been chosen over the Los Angeles Lamar. Okay, in a candid interview with the Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco Johnson for the Nightcap, Snoop refrained from taking sides in the debate. And he goes, I don't really have no opinion. But what I do want to say is that just remember where the NFL was 15 years ago when it came to hip-hop. How many hip-hop artists were able to grace that stage 15 years ago? Question mark. So I understand both sides of the coin, and I understand how people feel, he said. Reacting on his experience participating in the big game when he was a part of it back in 2022 alongside Dr. Dre, Kendrick, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Snoop acknowledged the opportunity he received through Dr. Dre. I have no answer, no opinion, because I had the opportunity to get up there via Dr. Dre. I didn't do a Snoop Dogg song. I was up there helping Dr. Dre, and it became the great moment for all of us. So anytime anybody can get up on the big stage, the big game stage, remember this: it's a 20, it's a 12, 13-minute performance, and you're not getting paid. It's more or less you have to spend money to upgrade your show to make it mass appealing for the audience that's at home watching. Snoop remarked. So, also Snoop also expressed admiration for Lil Wayne. Remember, I was a no limit soldier. Okay, he was a no limit soldier for 3 years, and I watched his whole career come to life, and then I watched him get bigger than me. I was gigantic at the time, and I love seeing his growth. Snoop added, "Me and Wayne is family to this day. Me and Kendrick is family to this day, and me and Jay-Z, and me and the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell. I don't know who is the decision maker. All I know is that I'll be at home watching the big game, and when the halftime show comes on, I'll be watching that as well." Lil Wayne reacted to the halftime show snub by expressing disappointment and taking responsibility. He goes, "I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for the letdown and automatically mentally putting myself in that position, like somebody told me that that was my position." The 41-year-old, real name Dwayne Carter Jr., shared, quote unquote, "So I blame myself for that. But I thought that there was nothing better than a spot and the stage and that platform in my city, so it hurt. It hurt a whole lot," end quote. Kendrick Lamar is set to headline the big game halftime show at the Caesar Superdome February 9th, 2025. I did a lot of reading today. But I wanted to make sure I was here here on Mega Mondays at WindyCityUnderground.com. I didn't even mention it once today, but in the background, you guys can see my two buddies. The awards for the 312 Music Awards. I was very fortunate to be part of the squad. We brought home 2 of these trophies. We are trying to get a third one. But in order to get that, we need the support from our fans, from our listeners, from our friends, from our family. Very easy. How do you nominate us? You can visit their website at 312musicaward.com. That's 312musicaward.com. Visit that website. It's a Google spreadsheet. It's 1 vote per email. So 1 email, 1 vote. That's all you get. You can't vote multiple times with the same email. It will not accept it. You can vote for your favorite artist, your favorite promoter, your favorite DJ, so on and so forth. There is a section on there that says favorite online radio personality. Please make sure to remember me, Alex the One, LXDAONE. Please nominate myself and also nominate WindyCityUnderground.com for Online Radio Station of the Year. It would be awesome. It would be epic if we were to take back a 3rd trophy. Oh my God, that would be so incredible. But we cannot do it without your help and without your support. There's also lots of very talented individuals here at Windy City. So if you feel like, they should be nominated, go for it. Follow your heart for it, right? Follow your heart. And lastly, if you are an MC and you got the next seat and you want to get it heard over here on WindyCityUnderground.com, I'm going to tell you, it's as simple. All you have to do is email us that track. Email us at WindyCityUndergroundIMS@gmail.com. Make sure it's a clean version. Make sure you own the rights to it. Can't be a remix of something that you rapped over and now it sounds cool, right? It has to be your song. It has to be. And if it's dope, we'll go ahead and give it a listen. You can always email me as well at LXThe1, LXDAONE @gmail.com. I will go ahead and give it a spin. If it's dope, we'll go ahead and give it a listen. I will be having interviews coming up shortly. I got a few in the works. I just haven't had a chance to get guests on the show. Not because I don't want to. It's just a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts. But I am planning to have artists, celebrities, local celebrities, I should say, also be a part of my show. And also Friday, I will be hooking up with the homie Visual. He's starting a new podcast, so you guys can catch me there on Friday as well. I will post all the details on my social media. If you guys don't already follow me, feel free to do so at LXThe1 all across every social media platform. All right. So until next time, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. This is LXThe1 getting it done. Your Latino extraordinaire. Make sure to catch me every Monday from 4 to 11 on WindyCityUnderground.com. Catch me on Sundays on the Ownership Club, as heard on Soul 106.3 FM, to check out my What's Happening segments. That's Sundays from 9 to 11. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Wake up.
Too late, y'all.
I got it in there like it now. I'm on it like my. Trying to get on. Oh girl, my. I get it. You mad, like. I get it. You toasty, and now you wanna fight. Right. I'm on it like my. Trying to get on. Oh girl, my. 41 play like you tough with it. With the honest, keep it rough with it. I don't really know how you fuck with it. That never held you down, but say what's up to you. Yeah, we don't really play with them doses. We don't really play with them toasters. We don't really stay with them hosters, cause they already made them posters. Yeah. I could f with the baddest bitch and stick it to her like cactuses and give her like the cabins is. I know it. Yeah. She know that she f the real. Pronto. She know that I'm cool, but I'm cool and I'm chillin'. Facts. Just know who I be right now. But no cat, what I need right now is the bagging the bitches and having them kissing and having them scratching my back and admission that I am the greatest. I am the favorite. I am the one that they happy he made it. Yeah. We be on it all day and night. I got it in bed like you know. I'm on it like my. Trying to get it. Oh girl, my. I get it. You mad, man. Like, I get it. You toasty, and now you wanna fight. Right. I'm on it like my. Trying to get it. Oh girl, my. You the type of say what's up to a nigga. Broke in the club cause you can't afford liquor. Keep on asking. What type of test? Bleeding down like they got my home with you. Just to turn around and shake it like a Polaroid picture. When a pull his phone and ask for the digits, I know. You probably gon' say some shit. Something like you in a relationship. Your man locked up and you saving it. Or probably hit him with the other that you're going through a breakup. Or take his number, throw you looking for a winner. But it won't be the summer, love a hot girl season. Looking for a come up, like staring in the ass. Cause we platinum, there's only one phrase. They really can be mad. Fuck this up. Yeah. Well, what do you know? You spent $500 on a bottle just to say they getting funneled in the back cases. So, thanks to buddy, you did that. Whatever that you paid for, got a real saucy. My ass, she can't keep her hands up off me. In it with the point, killing me softly. Case. We be on it all day and night. I get it. I got it in bed like you know. I get it. I'm on it like my. Try to get up. Oh girl, my. I get it. You mad, like. I get it. You toasty, and now you wanna fight. Right. I'm on it like my. Try to get up. Oh girl, my. I get it. We be on it all day and night. I get it. I got it in bed like you know. I get it. I'm on it like my. Try to get it. Oh girl, my. I get it. You mad, like. I get it. You toasty, and now you wanna fight. Right. On it like my. Try to get it. Oh girl, my.